So yeah, there we go. Yes, sir. Glitches, speedruns, the game sharks, all that stuff. But yeah. Alright, so if you remember earlier, I accidentally activated an owl. This is the mission where we actually need him. So all you do is you scale up this tree, and he appears, and then he talks to you. Yeah, all the text is kind of cheesy in this game, which is kind of the appeal of it, but all you do is you find the shadow of him, and you jump up, and if you can find him in 3D space, you ascend! They actually made this version, this star, a lot easier in the DS version because the island is much bigger for you to land onto. In this game, it's just kind of there, and you end up missing it every now and then. It's the first time I've missed that star in, like, a decade. Oh, if you do end up missing the star, all you actually have to do is wait for him to come back down. This is the only rendition of the owl in the game. I don't know why he is the only rendition, but unfortunately it takes a little while for him to come back down. But you can hear him. There he is. Ascend! Let's try this again, shall we? There we go. Kind of a little bit of a random star to just kind of throw India. I see you have a couple viewers in the chat. Please say something. I'm not shy. And I'm struggling with a couple of things to talk about. But yeah, this is an interesting star. Because if you've noticed, there hasn't been another star that we've just had around the level, right? So this is where it gets a little funky. There is a glitch that you can use with this, that you can use in this level to kind of just clip through where the star is hidden. But I've never been able to do it. I'm sure we'll be able to do it eventually. But if you see, you notice that there's a line on this angled piece of a wall here. And if you fired at it, it would explode. But the star isn't on this one. It's on this one. And I missed. This is what I was worried about playing this game. On record, I knew it was going to go bad. But this is what's supposed to happen. Yep, and then you would just go up and collect the star like normal. You can, but then there's the chance of you flying off of the map, so it's just much safer to just go and get it yourself. I mean, it would take about the same amount of time anyway. So, but yeah, no, that's if you pull up the menu. That's what a 100% level looks like. You have the main 6 stars, and then you have the 100 coin star. So now that we've completed all of Womb's Fortress, what we're going to do now is we're going to go get that power-up that we need to complete Bob-omb Battlefield. And I bet you can't figure out where it is. How do we get to it? How do we get to it? I don't know. I don't know. Something has changed, though, in the lobby. We have a skylight. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into first-person, or kind of our overhead view here. And we're going to look up at the sky and be transported to another world. Welcome to the wing cap stage. The wing cap is how Mario flies in this game, and it's based around dips and dives. You can't really fly up. It's more like you build up air, and then you fly according to it. But the main challenge with these power-up stages, and much like the Bowser levels, is there are 8 red coins scattered around them that you have to get. Normally, it's with using the power-up's ability. And then yeah, but to activate the power-up in the red boxes that we've seen around the world so far, we have to press the corresponding red switch. And there you go. You saw in the background. Now we have access to these in the level. So we'll go ahead and collect this star, and then we'll go finish up Bob-omb Battlefield. That's kind of how I like to run these first 2 levels, just because it's just easier in my mind. And it is possible to do the next star with without the wing cap, but it takes forever because then you just have to go and use the cannon, and then every time you don't get the coin you need, you go flying off the map, and then it becomes a repetitive mess that you don't need to deal with. So instead, we're going to do it the intended way of getting the Mario wing cap first. So we'll go ahead and shoot up to the island in the sky once again. This cloud always kind of looked like Goofy. to me. So I always aim for his eye, and then, well, as a person I listened to a lot and watched when I was growing up a lot, used to say, if you shoot for the eye, you will not cry. That's a little speedrun glitch you can do as well. You save a couple of frames by ground pounding into whatever box is there, be it a star or a power-up, so you automatically equip it. So yeah, this star has a couple of rings of coins, and we have to aim for each one in the center. Normally I can do that in one succession, but oh well. So we'll just go ahead and turn back around, and we'll try again. Yeah, I like using the cannon because then you just start flying immediately after it. But yeah, after you get all 5 coins in the rings, you don't have to get them in succession or anything. You just have to get all 5 of them. The star will appear down here. And there we go. That isn't the last one of Bob-omb Battlefield. There's one more star that you have to get, which you can get really from the beginning. It really doesn't matter when you get the star, but we are trying to do this in order. So we're going to go to behind Chain Chomp's gates. So we've seen this big old Chain Chomp that only appears a couple of times in the game. It's kind of hanging out here for literally no reason. But yeah, as you can see, he's kind of chained to a post. Let's fix that, shall we? Or we're going to miss the post entirely, and then he's going to charge at us, he's going to hit us, and if I die in this, I'm going to be so upset. This takes 3 hits like normal. On the post, so you ground pound on it 3 times. He'll just charge at the gates or the bars, just evaporating them from existence, and you get the star that way. Yeah, that's the first 2 worlds. Moving a little slower than I would like to, but as soon as we get into some of the harder levels that I'm used to, I'm sure I'll be doing a little bit better. So yeah, that's the first 2 worlds. We'll go ahead and move on to World 3 now. And this, unfortunately, like Bob-omb Battlefield, we cannot get the 6th star in this level without a power-up from later. So, we're just going to be doing 6 stars in it. We'll be getting our first 5 stars, and then the 100 coin star as well. So, welcome to Jolly Roger Bay, the first water level of this game. And we're going to plunder the sunken ship. So, what we're going to be doing instead... like I always said, instead. What we're going to be doing is we'll dive down into the water, into the main chasm of this level. And as you can see down here, it'll fade in eventually, is a sunken pirate ship. And you can see this little guy kind of just hanging out in one of the windows. I don't know how to do this properly, and I've never known how to do it properly. What I always do is I run into him, and then I'll go get some coins from over here. And they'll return to the surface, and he'll start swarming around. I'm sure you can, if you're getting to the right angle of it, you can just kind of swim by him, and it'll activate him. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to get him out of that little area. And that's the only way I really know how to do it. So yeah, that's what the eel looks like when he's out and about. And then we're just going to go dive into the hole he was hiding in. So here we go. Now we have a little game of treasure chests that we have to get. The right code is that first one, then it's this far left one, then it's you follow it clockwise as you go through these ring of chests in the middle. It's not really that hard of a puzzle, and it's one of very, very few treasure chest puzzles in the game. But yeah, then we're gonna just swim up here so we can avoid the platforming section. Or I'm not going to do it, so I'm gonna have to get the platforming section. No, I've never had to do this before. No, why am I so bad at video games? No! No! Well, I guess there's a first time for everything. Every time I've been playing this game since I was a little kid, I have never had to do this little platforming section right here. So I guess there's a first time, as I said, there's a first time for everything, but are you kidding me? Okay, that's it. Yep, as I said, I play this game much better when I'm just playing the game, so Which every Let's Player that does any form of gaming content will tell you the exact same thing. It's because you're trying to focus on not only playing the game and playing it decently enough so you don't die consecutively multiple times, but also trying to think of things to talk about. It's unfortunately a very grueling process, but it's fun because you just kind of get to talk with, you kind of get to expose your thoughts to the world. But anyway, let's see the eel again, because he's in a different place, and the sunken ship has Rose. So instead, the nice thing about this one is you just go close enough to him, he'll activate that way. And we're going to swim under him, because there's a star on his tail. So we're going to try to time this so we don't have to chase him. And I missed. Is my first death going to be in Jolly Roger Bay? Are you serious? Nah, we can get some coins. We're going to be fine. But it is a little timed because you have to catch, you have to touch the star before he goes back into his little hidey hole. Because unfortunately, if you don't do that, then you have to reactivate him and it's a whole ordeal. But I really hope I don't have to do that. Thank you. Yeah. And that's the last eel stare where I have to do for this, as I get eaten by his face. Alrighty, we'll go ahead and we're going to go do another treasure chest puzzle. But this time, it's not going to be the one in the ship because we can't go back into there anymore. So, if you saw where I got my my coin rings back after running into the eel multiple times, there's a little chasm or a cavern down underneath the water down here. We're actually going to go down there and we're going to go check out what's underneath the underwater cavern. So yeah. Let's see here. Anime I'm watching right now, I'm still watching Dragon Ball and One Piece. I'm going to be watching both of those for a while. I accepted that when I started watching them. But recently, I started watching an old Disney XD show called Kickin' It, which stars Leo Howard, Olivia Holt, and various other people as well, which I always liked. So, yeah. It's kind of a fun little comedy sitcom era thing about high school students that take karate, and it's kind of fun. Yeah, I think the other one that was around at that time was Lab Rats, which I haven't started watching again in a while, but I've already seen that show like 15 billion times, so I guarantee I'm going to watch it again eventually. But it's red coin time. That means, that's right, you guessed it, it's time for the 100 coins as well. So this is the first iteration of, well, or I guess technically Bob-omb Battlefield is, but this is the first iteration of a level that is very, very limited in its actual regular coin supply. So you do have to get every individual coin that you can find. I think the 3 in the box that I got at the beginning of the level you can skip, but that's really about it. So I like that you're saying that, because I'm gonna end this ship. I'm gonna end this 100 coin mission, red coin mission on the ship. So I always like to go to the cavern first because, as I said, this is a limited area. This level has limited coins. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go into the cavern, and to save ourselves some time, if we do fail this, we're going to get the blue coins first. Because they are on a time limit, and if you screw them up, then you do have to restart the stage. It's kind of annoying, but as I said, the last level of this game, Rainbow Ride, has a blue coin switch that is very, very, very annoying. That is based around wall kicking up a maze really, really, really fast, and if you screw it up, then you can't get all of the blue coins which are at the top of the maze on a stretch of land. So it's really annoying. But so yeah, now after we've gotten all of the coins in the cavern, we'll go ahead and dive down, and we'll go ahead and get. I don't know if I got these coins already. I might have. No, I haven't. Okay. We'll get the coins that I normally use for health from the eel. The funny thing is, if you swim through this, you can get a life over in the cavern, which you have to chase. Clams are an enemy in this game. They don't really pose any threat. Just gotta time them like every other clam in every other video game. Yeah, there's our first red coin. Oh, we'll go ahead and head up here. We'll go we'll go clam hopping for some more stuff as well. There's another one right here. He's up backwards, so we have to swim through him, and yeah. Okay. We'll go ahead and get this one over here, which is another clam. And then there's one more clam, but he's kind of hidden a little bit. So you got to be really paying close attention because he's hanging out up there, but you can miss him really, really easily. But we're gonna go ahead and get some other coins first. There's a shell in that one. I don't really like the shells underwater in this game, so I kind of tend to avoid them. Kind of difficult to control, and it doesn't really add that much speed to Mario's swimming ability, so you can get it if you want. I don't really care for him, though. So, go ahead and get this. And then we'll go over to our hidden buddy over here, and we'll get the last clam red coin. So, it's time to get... it's time to open up the cannon, because we're going to need it for another level here in a little bit. I believe it'll be the next level, actually. So, yeah. Sorry, my voice is starting to get dry. Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and get, we'll head up the spire. We got a red coin this way. And yeah. I can side flip, thank you. This is our first iteration of a action switch. If you place it, it spawns blocks, and there's a timer associated with it, much like the much like most other much like the power-ups as well. But the nice thing is they do respawn, so the only time you can kind of screw yourself over on these puzzles is if you destroy the blocks accidentally. But instead, what we're going to do is we're just going to jump, and we'll go over this one. And then we'll side flip back, and we'll board the pirate ship. And there's a 100 coins. I was like kind of getting more 100 coins here because as the ship moves, so does Mario. So he kind of just flies out of frame. It's kind of fun. Don't touch that box; it will hurt you. But yeah, let's go ahead and get our last 2 red coins, and then there is no pedestal star for here, but it shows up where the helm would be in on a normal pirate ship. So let's click that and continue on. Alrighty. So as I said, we opened up the cannon last star because this next one requires it. We'll go ahead and hop into the cannon over here first. And as you saw, if you climb one of the stone pillars at a certain level of it, it becomes climbable. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be aiming for this far left stone spire right here. And if you miss it, it's annoying. But if you don't hit it, if you don't go high enough, you kind of just don't do anything. So you kind of just fall through it. But yeah, so that's what you do. If you aim for the center one, you can get a life, but yeah, no. So we'll just go ahead and bounce off of it and do that. And there's another box up here. This one houses a star. So we'll go ahead and ground pound into it to save ourselves a couple of frames. And that'll do it for Jolly Roger's Bay for now. There is another star in this this level room that we can get, but we're going to ignore that for now. We're going to go over to one of my favorite levels, and I wonder why it's one of my favorite levels. Can you guess why, Gygus? It's a snow level. There are 2 of them in the game, and this is one of my favorites. Not only is it really, really easy, but it's also really fun. So here we go. To World 4. Cool, Cool Mountain. Sliding away. So, as I said, this game centers around, or this level centers around a slide that you dive into the chimney first, and then you go. So slides are kind of interesting. There's a couple of them throughout the game, and there's even a room in the main lobby of the of Peach's Castle that you can go through. But yeah, there's a shortcut right here. We'll go ahead and check out the rest of the slide in another mission. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and brake a little bit. We'll hit our face in the wall, and we'll exit to collect our first star. So yeah, there's a race we're going to be doing on that slide in a couple of missions. But I did find interesting little fact: if you try to use the shortcut, he will accuse you of cheating, and you'll have to redo the mission. So in that big penguin race, Yes, we're going to be racing a penguin. We'll check that out later. So we'll go back in and, oh no, there was at the bottom of the level, there was a mom penguin, freaking out that she lost her kid. So what do we do about that? Well, exactly. We could do the meme, and we could throw the baby over here. But there are multiple little penguins throughout the level. The one we want is obviously the one that's farthest away from the mother. And yeah, so normally what you would do is you would go through this side of the map. I'm not gonna throw him off the cliff. Normally what you would do is you would go over here and you go through the rest of the level and try to get back on a ski lift. But instead, we're gonna be a little bit more dangerous. I know it's a really bad idea, but here we go. But yeah, so let's go ahead and slide down, and we'll drop right in on Mom. Unfortunately, you do need to be holding the penguin to do it. But yeah, once you return the penguin to her, you get a star, as is your reward for everything in this game. I was trying to side flip back into there, but I guess the game had other plans. Alrighty. No, it doesn't. And it's largely because I'm trying to talk while playing this game. Suddenly there's a penguin. Funnily enough, this is actually the dad penguin of the mom penguin and the little penguin that we helped out earlier. So he's going to challenge us to a race. We'll go ahead and say go. He's going to cheat and get a head start. But the funny thing is he has rubber band AI, so it doesn't really matter how far we go ahead of him. He will try to speed up and take it. So what we need to do is we're going to cut some corners. Because like I said, he's rubber banded, so unfortunately, no matter if you gain a lead enough, he kind of just speeds up and tries to overtake you that way. So the easiest way to get this is just kind of be a little risky and cut as many corners as you can. Or I could die at the very end, because this game hates me today for some reason. Yep. Let's try again, shall we? Yeah. So, as I said, it doesn't really matter what shortcuts you...
Nice.
I'm enjoying this.
I'm better at this game than is preceded by this recording, I promise.
No, it's fine. It's great. I'm enjoying this.
I hate everything right now. Okay. I can't just shut up and focus. I have to commentate as I do this. This is now, this is personal now. I have a vendetta, but the funny thing is a lot of people don't know this as well, but after you get 120 stars, if you come back and challenge this penguin, he's actually bigger and faster, and it's a harder race. So that's a fun little thing you can do after you 100% the game, so yeah, it's kind of fun. Alright, we're not going to make the same mistake we did last time. In this, instead, we're going to do that. Nah, I knew what I was doing. But yeah, now we gotta wait for him to waddle over, and then we'll talk to him. He said we're the coolest, which is great, and he's gonna give us a star. Thank you, Mr. Penguin Man. Goodbye forever. I'm kidding. We're gonna see him a couple more, maybe one more time as we do the slide for the 100 coins, but we're not gonna challenge him to a race anymore. I don't know. Maybe we may do that after we beat the game, but yeah, it's time for the 100 coins. So actually, we're gonna go say hi to him again real quick. So, the reason why this 100 coin star is so easy is because of this slide. And, we'll go ahead and get that. We'll get this. Yeah, this star is just, or this slide is just littered with coins. So, we'll just try to collect as many as we can, and we'll just go collect the remainders. outside in the not the overworld, but the main world of this level. You can miss a couple of them, but you really should try to avoid missing these lines. And there is a blue coin switch in this level, which you don't need for the 100 coins, but it does make it a little easier if you don't know where to find a bunch of them. So yeah, I always try to slow down a little bit at the end there, just because I want to make sure I get every coin. Yeah, as you can see, literally, we just bump the mic.
You're doing great.
We just started this like maybe 20 seconds ago, and we already have 84 coins. So, because this is an ice level, there are snow physics. It takes you a little bit longer to turn around and things like that. Mario goes slip sliding away on various things as long as you're on snow or ice or what have you. But yeah, here's a warp. Suddenly we're back at the start of the stage because, well, a couple reasons. We're going to actually go up here, and if you remember the shortcut we took with the little, the baby penguin, we're going to take that same shortcut, because there's a red coin hanging out right next to this ice pillar right here. And then, after we do that, we're going to backpedal over here. We'll go get another red coin, which is right there. And our 7th red coin is going to hang out right next to the conveyor belt where you would go if you did the little penguin star normally. Yeah, this little conveyor belt right here. Well, normally it's right here. I think it might be at the bottom of the stage, but it's normally over there. You may just have to activate it, which makes that level a lot longer than I made it seem. But yeah, here's a snowman. Normally you beat him by running circles around him, but he's kind of more just an obstacle in at this portion. But yeah, here's our last red coin, and we're actually going to long jump over the bridge because the pedestal star is over on this. So hopefully we make it, and we do. Yay, 25 stars. Yeah, almost a quarter of the stars in an hour. I'm doing pretty good. We'll go ahead and head back on in, and we'll do a couple of more interesting stars. Snowman's lost his head. This level can go wrong in a way that you don't expect. There is a way you can go for it, but over on this, we'll see a snowball. Suddenly, it starts talking to us because, yeah, that's the body of the snowman that's hanging out down there, which you can see. So we're going to slide away, and we're going to try to stick to the edge because otherwise it kind of just falls off. But what you want to do is you want to join it that way, and you kind of want to pop over here, and you want to stay close to the wall once you get to the other half of this. Otherwise, the ball will literally just go flying off the map. It's really stupid, and it happens a lot more often than you would like it to. But then we'll go ahead and talk to this now that we've rebuilt the snowman, and he'll give us a star. Now, for this last star, for this level, I'm going to be doing it in a very, very unorthodox way that works really well. Normally what you have to do is you have to activate the cannon at the bottom half of the stage, and then you have to shoot over to another end onto a tree, and then you have to cycle around, and you have to do a bunch of parkour off of walls that would allow you to get to the star that way. And I've been failing it a couple of times in practice, so I'm hoping this goes well. But instead, what we're going to be doing is there's a little enemy. There's a little enemy hanging out over here. We're actually going to jump on top of him, because if you jump on top of him, you turn into Helicopter Mario. And then we're just going to go flying off the stage. No, we're just going to wrap around the map a little bit to this little underground area. Or under ice area. But yeah, you can see the star right there. So we're just going to go ahead and pop on over to it that way. Much easier way of getting the star than how you're supposed to do it normally.
I knew about that, actually.
Alrighty. So, now to get a little interesting. Now that we've done every level except for the last one in Jolly Roger Bay, you might be wondering, well, let's go face Bowser. No, we're not going to do that just yet, because there are a couple of hidden stars that we can get in the lobby. First off, we're going to go over to the Jolly Roger Bay room, and we're going to go over to the right a little bit. You can see that there's a little black alcove hanging out over here. We're going to side flip into it, and it takes us to a secret aquarium. Kind of weird, right? It's just a floating aquarium out in the sky that has very, very few fish and a bunch of metal around it. Yeah, it's a very, very easy star, and I say that as I miss a red coin. Yeah, I usually kind of just go up and down on these because it's just I think it's the most efficient way to get these coins. Yeah, there's one in each corner. There's one in a ring in between each corner. It's pretty hard to miss and to not find all the red coins in this little area. And the pedestal star is in the center of the bottom of the room, so it's a very, very easy little easy star that you can grab if you're having trouble with the game. Which I will say, this game is kind of hard if you've never played it before. So there's already been a lot of stars that are very unorthodox that you have to find. So it's game, if you didn't have a guide or you didn't watch somebody play it, I guarantee you don't know how to do a lot of these stars. But yeah, it's one of the Castle Secret stars, so I thought that was kind of fun. These two, there is one room we haven't explored yet in the lobby besides Bowser, and it's this one up here. We're going to, I always like to wall kick off of the thing, or just triple jump up here instead of going up the stairs, because it's fun. Alrighty. We'll go ahead and pop on in. And we're going to jump into the far right Peach stained glass area because we can actually walk through that. If Mario won't be dumb. Okay, welcome to Peach's Slide. There are 2 stars we can get from here. One, as you see, as soon as we start the slide, a timer kicks on. So what we have to do is to get the hidden star of this level, we have to cross the finish line in under 21 seconds. So the easiest way to do that, as with any slide in this game, is to cut as many corners as physically possible, because each time you hit a wall, you bounce back in another direction. So that's the easiest way to do it. It doesn't matter how good you are at this game, you're always going to cut that one a little close, unless you just skip the slide entirely and slingshot yourself off the map into the area, which is the speedrunning way of doing that. But as I said, I know a couple of speedrunning tricks. I don't know them all. So let's go ahead and go back into Peach's Slide, and we'll get the regular star. If I can get up there. There we go. Whee! Nope, because well, y'all saw it. There was a box at the end of the this level. The funny thing is, look at that. I didn't even do it, and I still got it in 21 seconds exactly. So yeah, you have to get it under 21 seconds. You cannot get it any later than that, even if it's at the flat time. The star will not appear. So yeah, we'll go up here, and we'll go ahead and get the last star for Peach's Slide. What I'm planning on doing with the series in the future is, well, not necessarily this series. This is more so me getting used to recording my favorite game. But eventually, I do plan on learning how to speedrun this game, and hopefully shooting for just getting better and better and better at that. Because eventually, I do want to verse Gygus against this, because now he's seeing how to do every star. So eventually, whenever we race this game, my goal is to be able to 100% it twice in the time that it takes him to 100% it once. So that'll be... It's gonna be interesting. So.